Minutes into the meeting, agents of the state government unleashed thuggery, and they were shooting, firing weapons, and everybody ran for safety, including the aspirants, some of whose names were being mentioned by these thugs that they will kill them, and they all ran away, and the panel members also escaped back to their hotel. As a result of that, the pre-election conference, which was supposed to have taken place on that Monday, in order to brief the aspirants and their agents on the rules of procedure, that meeting was inconclusive. So it was subsequently adjourned to the following Tuesday. That Tuesday, they met, they agreed on the rules, they got vehicles ready to convey the election materials, as well as those returning officers in the various wards where these elections were meant to be done, because they were direct primaries to be conducted at the ward headquarters. AMOSUN suddenly at the last meeting, Governor AMOSUN, His Excellency Governor AMOSUN, the executive governor of Ogun State, decided that he and his own preferred aspirant will not participate in the primaries, and even try to withdraw the security that was necessary for these people to be able to conduct the primaries and ensure that there was no violence. Fortunately, this panel is headed by a retired commissioner of police who is familiar with security issues, and they proceeded to conduct the primaries with Governor AMOSUN and his preferred candidate opting out of the process, and the rest went on to conduct the primaries. And they submitted the result to us here, and as well, the result sheets, as well as a report including how thugs were unleashed on them, and those who they suspected were behind the use of those thugs. This report was considered by the National Working Committee, and we find it to be in total compliance with the guidelines, and the NWC accepted the result of that panel that nominated Prince Abiodun, what's his surname now? Dako Abiodun, as the duly elected candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the forthcoming governorship election in Ogun State. However, Ogun State governor decided in his wisdom to conduct his own self-help. I mean, resorting to what you can call self-help by conducting what he called his own primaries. The secretary to Ogun State government for this purpose became the chief returning officer. And for Channels Television, and I'm sure they were, it also featured another TV network, but fortunately on that particular day, I was watching Channels Television along with other members of the AWC. And we saw the secretary to Ogun State government proclaiming himself as a returning officer and purporting to have conducted primaries. Halfway through reading the result, I suspect that it occurs to them that the conduct of the primaries was not meant to be done by state government officials. So immediately he gave way to the state chairman of the APC in Ogun State, who unfortunately the court of law has restrained him, along with all the other people elected along with him at the state, local government, and ward level, not to parade themselves as officials of the All Progressive Congress. And that court order was still subsisting, and as I speak, that court order is subsisting. In spite of this court order, this gentleman went on and, for evidence, played back channel television news, which you can retrieve at any time. So this is not my word against anybody's word. I read some of these stories through the electronic and print media. And he now concluded by saying, he proclaimed, he said, he, as the state chairman of Ogun State chapter, hereby declare Governor AMOSUN's preferred candidate as the winner of the self-help primaries. Of course, for me, this is laughable. First, because this approach is unknown to the Electoral Act. This approach is alien to the Constitution of the All Progressive Congress. And this individual, purporting to be APC chairman, has been seized, has been barred by the court of law, not by a resolution of our party, that he should not so parade himself or in any way be involved in the conduct of the primaries. Don't forget, I started earlier by apologizing to the Supreme Court and reinstating our commitment to obey the rule of law. So if as the chairman of APC, I submit to the provisions, to the rulings of the court, I don't know of any other person in the party who can purport in the name of APC to disobey a court order that was issued by a competent court whose jurisdiction is not in question. And even if it is in question, it will take another court to resolve the issue of jurisdiction. To the best of my knowledge, this is a settled order that the court validly issued. But Governor AMOSUN was not done. Being aware that there was such a court order, he approached a high court in Abeokuta. So this first order was issued by a high court in Abuja. He approached the Abeokuta High Court, and the High Court granted him a temporary relief of 48 hours interim order, ex parte order, which you can obtain without putting the other side on notice. But when the matter now came up for hearing, the other parties produced the evidence to the effect that what Governor AMOSUN did or his agent tantamount to abuse of court process, because this matter, there is already a subsisting court order by a high court in Abuja. And therefore, Abeokuta High Court cannot sit either as appellate court or sit to hear a matter that has already been determined by a high court in Abuja. And so, on the face of the evidence that this matter has already been pronounced upon by an Abuja High Court, the Abeokuta High Court struck out, vacated the interim order and ordered the parties to go before the Abuja High Court for the trial of the case. The court also found that those who were before him did not participate in the primaries that APC conducted, and therefore they do not have the locus standi to question how those primaries were conducted. And so the case was dismissed. Governor AMOSUN, having lost out through the law court, choose to resort to name dropping. And he has approached everyone he thinks can help him to undermine the extra provisions of the law and or the decisions of a competent court. He got some traditional rulers. The most prominent traditional rulers in Ogun State are well known. People like the Awujale of Ijebu, and so all those ones refused to attend, but he got some to attend, to come to Abuja, to persuade Abuja to put pressure on me to revise what has been properly done and to accept what is clearly unlawful. Not only unlawful, undemocratic, immoral, and tantamount to abuse of power. Our constitution does not recognize emperors. There are no emperors in APC. If anybody tried to invent himself as one, it will be an exercise in futility. Certainly, with all sense of modesty, not under my leadership. I am clear about our rules, and I'm clear about power, and I'm clear about the limitations of those powers. Fortunately, I have been a governor for 8 years, and so I know what it takes to be a governor. I know the powers of a governor. I have subjected myself as a governor to primaries. I have passed through the tedious route democratically, not only to get myself re-elected, but also work hard democratically to get my party to have, to conduct primaries in which we participated in Edo State and a candidate emerged. And today we are the only state in the South-South that has passed through not just winning an election democratically, but transmitting power to a successor without resort to thuggery, without anybody being hospitalized, without anybody being brutalized, and without any controversy about the outcome of those primaries. So, as it stands, based on the rules of our party, and in accordance with INEC guidelines, we have since conducted governorship elections in Ogun State, and we have submitted the name of the winner, Prince Dapo Abiodun, to INEC for the purpose of the forthcoming governorship election. That for me has concluded that matter. It cannot be reopened except if a court of competent jurisdiction finds reasons to void what I believe we have done in accordance with the provisions of the law.